The Dallas Mavericks just put the league on notice after beating the Minnesota Timberwolves 120-114. After many people thought that we couldn't beat a real contending team after we lost to the Phoenix Suns, and then we beat the Utah Jazz, and people think, it's the Jazz. They're not a good team. The real test was the Minnesota Timberwolves, and although Luka Doncic didn't really get it going until late in the game, he still got it going. But even in spite of all of that, we have a team that's deep enough to pick up the pace when other players are falling behind, and letting that player catch up and help us win the game. So in this video, we're going to talk about what happened tonight, all the good things, the bad things, who stood on business, and what we can expect from this team going forward. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 14,032 subscribers. We crossed 14,000 subs live on stream tonight. I just want to say thank you to everybody that subscribed so far. We are getting so close to our goal of 15K. I think we should be able to hit it in about 3 or 4 weeks, probably before Thanksgiving. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, the live streams, the watch longs, the giveaways, and everything in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But like I said, the Dallas Mavericks played a very good game of basketball. We were fighting with the Minnesota Timberwolves. We came out pretty good. Daniel Gafford looked amazing in the first quarter, getting easy buckets, very imposing, getting rebounds. And then he got a weird injury, kinda. He was limping off the court, but he did come back later in the game, and that was kind of a pattern tonight. Players were getting knocked around, leaving the game, having to come back. Julius Randle got hit in the face and was bleeding. He left and came back. Luka Doncic was holding the back of his leg and his knee and thigh area. He was limping off the court, then he came back. But even though there was a whole lot of physicality, and even though tonight may have looked like WWE SmackDown Raw, the Dallas Mavericks came to win, and that's exactly what happened. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. After bouncing back after that Phoenix Suns game, having a great game in Utah, he had an even better game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves, showing everybody that age is nothing but a number when it comes to Kyrie. It don't matter if he's 33, 34, 35, or 36. Kyrie Irving, Uncle Drew, Supreme Kai, Ramadan Kai, fourth quarter Kai, whatever you want to call him. I'm going to call him my point guard or my shooting guard, whatever position he really is. But Kyrie Irving did an amazing job today of facilitating, opening up the offense, moving the ball more, getting the guys going in transition. Guys were running when Kyrie was running the floor. And even if Luka really was struggling in the first half, we did not give up on Luka. We still believed in Luka. The guy still gave him the ball, let Luka figure it out, and it paid dividends as Luka hit a nasty step back three. It was like the last 3 seconds in the shot clock on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Very reminiscent to the Western Conference Finals, giving everybody in Minnesota PTSD. It was a great game from everybody. Even Derrick Lively, Najee Marshall, Quentin Grimes, all our role players really stepped up. PJ Washington too. But let's go ahead and get into the box score, and let's see how good these guys really were. PJ Washington finished with 17 points, 1 steal, 3 assists, 8 rebounds. He was 3 of 6 from 3 and 7 of 13 from the floor. PJ Washington is still looking good. He played well against the Utah Jazz. I wasn't sure how he would do in this game up against Julius Randle, but he continued to play very well for us. Daniel Gafford had 14 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. It was 6 of 6 from the floor and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Daniel Gafford looked great for the Dallas Mavericks. And Kyrie, Uncle Drew, had 35 points, only 1 turnover, had 1 steal, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, was 6 of 8 from 3 and 13 of 23 from the floor. That's how you do it. Against Phoenix, it took him 22 shots to get 22 points. But in this game, it took him 23 shots to get 35 points. That's called efficiency, and that's why he's Kyrie Irving. And Luka Doncic, the man of the hour who had to figure it out on the fly, didn't have to change his shoes 4 times this time, finished with 24 points. He had 1 steal, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. He was 1 of 8 from 3, but 10 of 27 from the floor. Luka Doncic is slowly but surely figuring it all out, and obviously he didn't have a preseason. He even said himself, still a little bit rusty, but it's good to know that we have players that can uplift him, who can pick up the pace when his shot's not falling. But even if his shot's not falling, Luka Doncic was passing amazing, getting guys open left and right, knowing that he was still getting a lot of attention from the defense. Okay, cool, someone's open, just make the shot. Luka was amazing, even if the shot wasn't falling until late in the game. But that last second step back 3 was exactly what the Dallas Mavericks needed to ice the game. And Klay Thompson, in 30 minutes, had 7 points, 1 steal, 1 assist. He was 2 of 7 from 3 and 2 of 7 from the floor, and that's okay. This wasn't a game where Klay Thompson shot the ball very well, but he also didn't take a lot of shots. 7 shots to get 7 points. That's fine. He was doing a lot of other things. He was providing the additional pass, setting screens, playing good defense. He's played good so far this season, and I don't even think this is a bad game. He just had a smaller role. He was definitely smaller in this game. He was minimalized, if we want to say. And off the bench, Najee Marshall had 4 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, was 0-3 from the floor, but 4-4 from the free throw line. Still trying to find his rhythm and trying to find his role, but he did have an amazing steal on Anthony Edwards at the end of the game that, in my opinion, that sealed the deal, as the other team didn't have a chance to try and just shoot their way back into the game. We got the ball back, and he was able to hit his free throws. Shout out to Najee Marshall for that clutch play. The knife showing you just how sharp he can really be. And Derrick Lively off the bench this game wasn't the best, but we know that Derrick Lively is still a great player. Had 5 points, 1 block, 3 steals, playing great defense. Had 1 assist, 9 rebounds. It was 2 or 3 from the floor. Spencer Dinwiddie wasn't crazy like the last game, but still provided a lot of hustle and a lot of good plays off the bench. Had 3 points, had 1 steal, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. It was 1 of 5 from 3, 1 of 5 from the floor. And Quentin Grimes in 12 minutes gave you 9 points, had 2 turnovers, but he had 1 steal, 1 rebound, and was 3 of 5 from 3. Just letting that thing fly, just a flamethrower. So obviously Najee Marshall trying to find how he can be a utility player as far as bringing the ball down, playmaking, defense, just providing good screens, good spacing. And then you got Quentin Grimes, who's like, if I can just provide a little bit of scoring, a little bit of playmaking, as well as ball handling, those 2 guys are going to fit in just right. And I think in the next 7 to 8 games, we're going to see those 2 definitely start to feel more comfortable in their roles. As well as Jaden Hardy, 4 minutes, but 1 of 1 from the floor. He had 2 points, didn't miss, and I'm all for it. The Dallas Mavericks looked amazing in this game, and there was a lot of just great moments. Gafford starting off very hot. Kyrie taking over throughout the entirety of the game. Got a heat check late in the 3rd quarter, just knocking it down from 3. Luka Doncic with a nice step back 3. It was a 35-foot three-pointer that went in that really just said, hey, I'm Luka Doncic. I'm the Balkan beast in blue. And he was letting everybody know. The game was amazing. This was definitely a test for the Dallas Mavericks, as the Minnesota Timberwolves, after they traded for Julius Randle, it really wasn't sure where they would be. A lot of people just assumed they'd be one of the top 3 teams in the league, or at least in the West. So a win on a team like that means a lot for the Dallas Mavericks, as we are still trying to figure out our lineups. Jason Kidd is still throwing out different rotations, trying to see what fits where. And if it's working, let's roll with it. If not, sometimes you got to switch it up, as when Luka Doncic was facilitating the offense and leading our offense, it was very stagnant. It stopped a lot. But when we took him out and had Kyrie bring the ball down, when Kyrie was the main ball handler, it was a very fluid offense. It was a poetry in motion. Guys were running up and down the court. So we got to figure out a sweet spot of where does Luka's style of play fit in our current system. And I think that's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to take us half the season to figure it out. Over the next 4 to 5 games, I can already see this team looking just so much better than we were even tonight. But as always, only one player can stand on business, and I was really torn on this because one player played great the whole game. Another player was a little bit late to getting it going, but I gotta say that the player that stood on business was Uncle Drew. Kyrie Irving shot 13 of 23 from the floor, 6 of 8 from 3. It was 3 of 5 from the free throw line. But honorable mentions, I gotta give props to Luka Doncic. He bounced back from last night's game, and I do believe on Thursday against the Rockets, he's gonna play even better. Shout out to PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. Those guys look great as well. But Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving, you were standing on business. But the last few things I want to show you guys is that PTSD is real, Timberwolves fans. Seek help. It's not safe out there. Yeah, that step back 3 from Luka definitely got those Minnesota Timberwolves fans shook, making them think, is this the regular season or is this the playoffs from last year? Are we in the Western Conference Finals? Luka's step back in Minnesota needs to be a warning, a caution to anybody. If Luka Doncic is in Minnesota, watch out for that step back. And the last thing that I do want to bring to your attention is Luka's field goal percentage by game. 37%, 22%, 48%, and 36%. And with all that being said, he's still averaging 27, 9, and 7. Luka Doncic will be just fine. This team will be just fine. We got to figure things out. We may not be like the Celtics, who are already put together. They already know how they're going to play, and that's totally fine. This team has great potential. We play team ball, no hero ball. Everybody contributes, and that's how we're going to win these games. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far into the video. Make sure you check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month, at the beginning of every single month. And the only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. And we are going live on Thursday's game against the Houston Rockets, so make sure you're there. Drink water. Peace.